Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an exciting one for you. I'm going to be talking about the best budget commanders of all of 2025. You're going to save big and play strong. Let's jump into them. And of course, in this handy-dandy list, there is a link in the description below. First up, we've got Tanuk Memorial Ensign. My goodness, this is an amazingly simple but amazingly, well, budget beastie commander. 36 cents in total for this commander itself. It is uncommon, but my goodness, do not let that, well, lower your expectations of this amazing commander. A 2/4 Kavu pilot for 3 mana in Gruul. It's got landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, Tanuk deals 1 damage each opponent. If this is the second time this ability resolved this turn, draw a card. Very simple, very effective. Literally, it's like, okay, you play any kind of a fetch land, and I'm not talking about, like, you know, the expensive fetch lands. I'm talking about the vast multitude of fetch lands that we are getting now that are incredibly budget-friendly. Like, we have 4 different versions of, like, Evolving Wilds, basically, these days, and all the other fetch lands that we have, too, that are also budget-friendly. Utilize those, and all of a sudden, well, you're getting card advantage, and of course, pinging your opponents. And with that ping, there's a lot that you can actually do with that. Some players are like, oh, it's only 1. I mean, first of all, again, with, like, fetch lands, again, it's 2, so that does add up. That being said, you could give Tanuk lifelink, because again, Tanuk is actually a commander that is actually dishing out that damage itself, so every single time you ping, you can gain as well. You can also utilize damage doublers, and yes, there are budget-friendly damage doublers out there. You can use a lot of other things to really take advantage of this. You can utilize certain cards that even give you even more card advantage off of this too, and you can make it so your opponents are just in a nightmare. Whenever you're playing lands, like, oh no, they just played like a ram spell and got like themselves like 4 lands, and I just got pinged for like 10. Oh my goodness. Okay, that math probably didn't math right there, but you know what I mean. Tanuk is amazing, an amazing budget-friendly bomb commander. Pick it up, build around it, and love Tanuk like you should. It's an amazing commander. It can dominate the table. Next up, on the other side of things, well, we've got Hashton Scarab's Fist. Yeah, this one is $1.05. Oh, so expensive compared to Tanuk, but still incredibly budget-friendly for a commander. A 1/3 zombie wizard for 2 mana, but it's not an Orzhov commander because it has whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create a tap token to copy that card, except a 4/4 black zombie. This is an Esper commander. Many players out there might think like, oh, well, you need like these really complex cards. You need like these really expensive cards to make the most of this. No. You can utilize a lot of really budget-friendly free discard outlets out there. I mean, a certain Phyrexian Imp that might give you some mana back, which is quite fun. One of my favorite cards of all time. There's a lot of great ways to discard things for free, and when you do, you can just go, okay, I'm paying 3 mana. Okay, cool, I get a copy of that. Yeah, sure, maybe it's just a 4/4 black zombie, but I get all the effects from it. If it's got any ETBs, I get those. If it's got any triggers, I get those. If it's got any abilities, I get those. You can easily dominate the game very quickly, very effectively, very efficiently with this commander. I mean, turn 1, get out of discard outlet. Turn 2, get this card out. Turn 3, you're off to the races, and your opponents are sweating already. This is a commander as well that you can really take advantage of any kind of populate effects too, being able to get extra token copies of those tokens. You can really dominate the game quickly, effectively, and efficiently with a lot of budget-friendly cards, a lot of big bomb creatures out there that you can discard that are budget-friendly, that are maybe overcosted as a card themselves, essentially, when it comes to their mana value, but you don't care about that. You're discarding them and going, hey, yeah, whatever effects they have, I get now at a premium discount. Take over the game with this budget-friendly build. Yet another budget-friendly commander that is another discard build but goes about in a different way. Captain Howler Scourge. I love this commander. It is so cool. Just 24 cents for this gem. 5/4 Shark Pirate for 4 mana. And is it Ward 2, pay 2 life? So a decent amount of protection there where the opponent really has to actually go, is it really worth the extra mana? And is it really worth the 2 life to actually get rid of that commander? At some point it's going to have to be, because you can do some crazy things with this one. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. For each card discarded this way, whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Yeah, this is super cool, super fun, super amazing, and you've got a shark flying a plane, basically. This is one where essentially you have, again, free discard outlets. Those are amazing, those are awesome. And yeah, this one is limited in that, like, if you're like, okay, wheel, Sure, you get like a massive pump effect. Yeah, that's cool, right? That being said, if you want the individual triggers, which is what you really want, you want those free discard outlets where you're like, okay, discard one card at a time, get those triggers, they add up, you're still getting that pump effect, but also you're getting extra stacks of whenever that creature goes counter to a player this turn, you draw a card, which do stack. So essentially, if you have a creature hit, you are drawing an insane amount of cards. And of course, there's other ways to take advantage of discarding cards, other ways to take advantage of drawing cards. You can do a lot of really exciting and fun things with this commander. It's incredibly unique. And of course, I mean, also, it can hit incredibly hard at a certain point too, right? If you go like discard, 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 you're just pumping it or whatever creature you want, again, by +2 a lot, and you can hit incredibly hard. I mean, this could, like, Voltron a player out, or you could just have another creature maybe that's more evasive. You can obviously give this evasion in different ways, or just say another creature's evasive that maybe has some combat image triggers. You can do some really cool things with this. Moving on, just 19 cents. These commanders apparently are getting cheaper in the order that I put them. A 2/3 human wizard for 3 mana in black. Xu-Ifit, Osteoharmonist. That's a thing. Apparently it's a job in the future. Anyways, a 2/3 human wizard. Yeah, that's nothing to like write home about, but here's something you can write home about. Tap, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton to other types and has no abilities. Activate only as a sorcery. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, at first when you're maybe seeing this commander, you're like, well, that's a giant downside, right? Like, okay, cool, I get a creature back, but like, it loses all of its abilities. We just talked about how this is kind of like the opposite of Hashton in a way, because Hashton's like, okay, it's just a 4/4, but you get all the abilities. This one's like, okay, it's whatever it is, but you lose the abilities. So, you can do some really exciting and really fun things like, oh, I don't know, get Death Shadow out on turn, I mean, if you get this out, say turn 3, get Death Shadow out on turn 4 is a 13/13 with no downside because you take out all the abilities. Yeah, that is incredibly amazing, so much fun, and again, there's a lot of other creatures out there that you can really take advantage of. Ones that maybe have cycling that are giant, big behemoths that are like, oh yeah, if I want to actually play that, it's like 9+ mana. But instead, you're like, oh, you know what? Get it in my graveyard, and then actually just get it in play. Of course, you are in black. You've got a lot of amazing ways, even budget-friendly ways, of course, to tutor for creatures, get them into your graveyard directly. So you're just like, yeah, whatever I need. Exactly that one. Okay, cool. You also, yeah, can utilize some ways to potentially untap this as well and do it again multiple times in the same turn, on your turn. And then also ways to essentially go, hey, you know what? What we're going to do with this is we're just going to, well, mill myself for a ton, because you've got a lot of ways to do that as well, a lot of repeat mill effects too, and then have a swath of creatures to pick from. So you can dominate the game super early, super effectively, and it's really hard for your opponents to stop you, because even if they deal with your giant threat, you can get it back out again. You can just go, oh yeah, okay, you killed it. All right, Death Shadow's back out. Awesome. Goodbye. With this low to ground commander, you can do a lot of amazing things, yes, even on a budget. Moving on, one that gets underrated for the type of build that can be so dominant and so budget-friendly, Felithar the Steadfast. $2.71. Wow. Incredibly expensive compared to the other commanders I've talked in this episode. Still very budget-friendly. And again, even if that's, say, 10% of your budget, you've got like a $27 budget build, and that's amazing. And yes, you can have amazing builds around this. 0/5 Human Warrior for 4 mana and Abzan. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Creatures control attack as though they don't have Defender. By paying 3 and tapping, you sacrifice other creature, draw cards, equal to sacrifice creature's toughness, to discards cards equal to power. That's amazing. That's incredible. And players, well, underestimate just the power potential of what you can do with that. Here's the thing. Yes, you can build a deck, like a Rixmathes style deck. Arcades strategist is what I meant to say, actually. I don't know why I said Rixmathes. Anyways, they're kind of close. That being said, you can build like the whole, like, okay, I've got a bunch of walls, they attack, cool. All right, awesome. Yes, you can do that. Or, hear me out. You can have that, plus you can have a swath of ways to untap everything you have. You can also have some mana dorks in the deck as well. Some mana dorks that can produce an absurd amount of mana. And what you can do is you can create a giant toughness defender storm deck where you're doing insane things and going, okay, yeah, I tap, sacrifice something that has, like, 8 toughness. Cool, I'll draw 8 cards, which is insane. Absolutely insane. And then you're like, okay, so I did that. I didn't discard any cards because it's got 0 power. Great, good for me. And, oh, I drew an untap effect. Let's see, Vitalize for 1 mana. Yeah, I think I can tap all my mana dorks again, produce, like, 6 mana. And then with that Vitalize, yeah, use 1 of that and untap my entire team. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do it again. Let's sacrifice another creature with Defender. Awesome. Okay, I draw another 7 cards, whatever it is. All right, I'll discard nothing because I have 0 power. And then all of a sudden, I draw into a 2 arms. Okay, I'll untap my creatures again, and I'll draw a card as well. You see where this is going? You can create an incredible deck around this one. And if you got like Psychosis Crawler in play too, it's like, yeah, let's just finish opponents off in that way. There's so many cool things you can do with this commander. And again, players just pigeonhole it in a way like, okay, like, it's Arcades the Strategist, but like, you know, in Abzan. Yeah, no, you can do a lot more crazy things with this one. Take advantage of it, pick it up, build around it. Next up, just 27 cents for Kotis the Fang Keeper, a 2/1 zombie warrior for 4 mana in Sultai. It's indestructible. Don't you love to see that on a commander? And whenever it deals combat to a player, exile the top X cards of your library, X the amount of damage dealt. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from them paying their mana cost. Now, here's the thing about this one. It's absolutely incredible because it was based off of one of the best Magic cards, in my opinion, of all time, and that is Villainous Wealth. Such a fun card, such a fun build. If you haven't seen my Joda deck on Villainous Wealth, actually I've got a couple of decks with Villainous Wealth. I think my first one was Tassiger, actually, back when my channel started. Go check that one out too. But yeah, my favorite build of all time, perhaps, is my Joda build with Villainous Wealth. And all I do, basically, is ramp, is get out a lot of things that can copy it, or just have a bunch of copy spells for it, and then cast it for an insane amount, and also copy an insane amount of times, and then go, all your things are mine. This commander takes all of that and says, I'm doing all the work for you, okay? All you gotta do is have me get pumped. And when I am pumped, and when I hit someone, you get to steal a lot of their things and then play with their cards. And that is so much fun. So you need to give this some evasion or some trample, some way to get it through. You need to pump it a ton, which also obviously, helps you, take players out as well. Though be careful with taking players out because you'll lose all the things that you stole. So yeah, you want to kind of get them to the brink of getting taken out, but also have all their things in play and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to win with all your things. Thank you. Goodbye. This is an amazing budget-friendly build. Again, there's a lot of ways to pump this in a budget-friendly way. And again, your opponents are the ones that have the expensive cards, right? So you're like, okay, cool. I hit you. Oh, I get to steal all your expensive cards. Thank you for the Smothering Tithe. I appreciate that. Now I'm going to take out the other opponent so I can keep your Smothering Tithe in play. Bye-bye. Next up, Tanuk Steadfast second, $2.45. Oh my goodness, so expensive. No, again, very budget friendly. Again, compared to some of the other commanders, sure, a little, expensive, compared to some of the others on this episode, but still the budget build around it can be insane. Again, you aren't a monocolor, so take advantage of that. All mountains, cool, good for you. I mean, maybe throw in like one mirrored landscape or whatever. You can do some things with that too. That being said, 3/5 Kavu Pilot for 4 mana in red. Other creature you control have haste. That's already worth the price of admission right there. That is an amazing effect. Being able to go, okay, I can utilize all my creatures' abilities right away. I can actually just attack right away, which is amazing with, obviously, the next part. Artifact cards and red creature cards in your hand have warp for 2 and a red. Being able to just go, okay, I warp something out, basically, for just 3 mana. And then, yeah, okay, it's only in play temporarily. But, hey, here's the thing. I can dominate with that thing when I have it in play. And sure, again, the incredibly budget-less builds out there are like, yeah, let's throw in all the really expensive Eldrazi. Okay, sure. Good. Well, you can't do that, actually. More like Blightsteel Colossus is more so what I mean. That being said, being able to go, okay, you know what? I can't use Blightsteel Colossus, but I can use, like, a Tali and get an insane amount of value incredibly early in the game. Again, like you turn 2... ramp. Turn 3, play this. Turn 4, you're already playing again, say, a Tali or something else and swinging right away, stealing things off the top of libraries. And of course, the Tali's only 6 mana. There's even ones that have even more mana that you're like, yeah, okay, that thing normally wouldn't see play, but hey, I've got a commander that can get out for incredibly cheap, play it, swing with it right away, and get so much value out of it. It is such a budget-friendly commander because, again, there are those creatures, there are those big artifacts out there that cost a good amount of mana that aren't worth the put in a lot of decks out there, but you can go, oh, you know what, I'm just cheating on that, and I have a way to essentially take advantage of that. And of course, there's ways to take advantage of those things when they're in play as well. You've got clone effects in red, temporary clone effects, sure, but clone effects indeed. Take advantage of those things out, incredibly cheap value, and be able to just take out your opponents in no time at all. Next up, Phenomena. Here that's what I call it. I never know how to say the name, but Phenomena. 3/4 Jellyfish Advisor with flying for 5 mana in blue. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, but cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Artifacts you control have tap, add blue. Spend only mana to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. 20 cents for this gem, and this is a commander that gives you everything you need to win. This is a commander that says, hey, you know what? I'm basically a future sight, and kind of like Urza a little bit. It's not Urza. I'm not saying that it is Urza, okay? I am saying that it is like Urza in the way that it's like, hey, you know what? Your artifacts can give you mana. Now, you can't use that mana for whatever you want, but so you can spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere in your hand, which it lets you do that. It lets you cast spells from the top of your library, which are artifacts. And artifacts are the most broken thing in Magic, because you also can make your artifacts basically cost essentially nothing too, because you can go, hey, you know what I'm doing with this? I am actually making it so that my artifacts are reducing in cost. They're generic mana, and now they cost basically nothing. That being said, you can just churn artifact after artifact after artifact after artifact off the top of your library. Utilize ways to utilize those artifacts, even just to win the game. I mean, there's ways to like turn them into creatures and swing. You can do some absolutely crazy, amazing things. You can storm off with this commander. You can build a storm build around this commander if you really want to. And of course, there's other ways to play things off the top of your library as well. If you get a future sight in play, it's like, okay, my artifacts can now help me cast those off the top of my library too with the mana I'm getting from them. It's such a value-centric commander. It is so budget-friendly. Pick it up, build around it. And speaking of artifacts, Sami, Wildcat, Captain, a 4/4 Human Artificer Rogue for 6 mana in Boros, Double Strike Vigilance, spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. Yeah, this commander is brokenly good, and it is just 89 cents, and yes, it is a very budget-friendly commander. Again, this is one where you can get out a lot of artifacts very quickly in a lot of different ways. Again, they don't have to actually even be, like, non-token. They can be token artifacts, too. They can be, treasures, clues, blood tokens, whatever you want, essentially. Just get all of them out, and essentially, your spells cost nothing. And you can chain spell after spell after spell after spell, doing absolutely insane things. I mean, even broken things like, oh, yeah, I just went and got that one creature, that costs 4, and I can play it for free because it's generic mana. Ancestral Statue, whatever it is, and then it just bounces itself back to my hand again. Oh, Infinite Storm count right there. Cool, Grape Shot, I win. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to go about it that way, or like Impact Tremors type effects, Warstorm Surge, I should say, more budget-friendly version type effects, I guess, with this build. And again, they can actually cost the exact same amount when you play them because of the cost reduction. Yeah, you can do some absolutely insane things. It's an incredibly budget-friendly commander. Pick it up, build around it, dominate the table. And this is not a joke, I promise, but you know what? Terrian World Tyrant, yeah, I'm bringing it up as one of the most budget-friendly commanders of all time for this year, and one that is an incredibly effective commander when built properly. 16 cents for this gem, a 9/7 Dinosaur Ooze for 5 mana in green that does absolutely nothing. It is a vanilla commander, okay? And some players just immediately go like, I don't want to build around that. Okay, fine. That's up to you. You don't have to build around it. Here's the thing. Yargle is amazing for a reason, and so is Terrian. And Terrian kind of has like an actual color behind it that really impacts it a little bit more. Okay, maybe not like the infect stuff, obviously, but like, you got a lot of ways to pump this. You got a lot of ways to give it trample and get it through. You got a lot of ways to take advantage of that power. Do so. It is incredibly cheap. It is just 5 mana. So essentially, get it out, and all of a sudden you've got the biggest threat on the board. It is nearly a 2-shot KO. Again, it's at 9. You just need to pump it 2 in order to make it a 2-shot KO. You got ways to give it double strike, essentially, or to double up its power, so do that. And all of a sudden, it is very quickly and very easily and very obviously a 1-shot KO on anyone. There's a lot of support for a power build around this one. Ways to take advantage of it. And again, it is just a 16-cent commander. Build an amazing deck around it. When your opponents, show up at the table, they're going to be like, Terrian, what are you doing with that? It's a vanilla commander. Look at my commander. Does X, Y, and Z. All these things. It's got like 5 pages of text on it. And you're like, don't care. And then you take them out on turn 4. And they're like, why? Why could you win with that? Because this commander is amazing. Pick it up and build around it. And with that, this episode is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this episode. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.